Well, welcome back to Forcible Entry. We are excited to be able to share with you how to modify your Halligan once again. As you can see, I'll pull this one over here. This is our standard stock Halligan, right? This is by ProBar, great bar, we really like it. But there's some modifications that need to be made. We're gonna walk you through those modifications today. But just wanted to show you one stock before I get to work on this one here, okay? Let me go over the changes we're gonna make. First of all, we're gonna actually take and we're gonna actually make a cut from the top down here on our ads, because we've found that consistently, if the cut comes from the bottom up, that the tool will walk out of the door. We're also gonna go ahead, shoulder the tool on both these corners. So this, instead of having this ramp that you see here, it actually is nice and flat. So our tool, as it slides down, actually has a striking surface. We'll do some light sanding to this, but what we're really gonna do is we're gonna add, instead of doing the typical cuts in that we typically make at 1 3/4 and at the crotch of the tool or here, right? We're actually gonna take a MIG welder. We're gonna weld a bead across in both those locations on both sides, so that when we're in the dark and we're walking our hands down our tool, we can actually feel those bumps and we know where the tool is in the door. All right, let's get started. So first of all, you guys all know how not a safety Nazi I am, but hey, we're gonna work on steel. So let's at least put on some gloves and some safety glasses so we actually have some level of protection. Otherwise, we don't wanna get metal dust in our eyes or any cuts on our hands. We got work to do. So we've gone ahead and set up the tool on the fixture table. So the nice thing about doing it this way, obviously, is I can keep things more accurate. Things you're gonna need, makes things much easier. Obviously a straight edge, a Sharpie. So we'll simply start off by measuring 1 3/4 inches. So I've already set that on my tool. And I'll just set that here and I'll make a line. That's where one of my welds is gonna go. I'm gonna do the other thing also on my ads end. So I've done that. I'll release that from the fixture table. Oh, one thing really quick. One thing I didn't do is I didn't make it also at the end of the tool working area, which I'll just make even with that space right there. Okay. Clean that line up a little bit. All right. Take that out of the fixture tool, flip that over. You can see I've already made those marks. Now I'm gonna go ahead and flip it all the way over. Nice thing about a fixture table is we actually have holes in it. Locate that down, same thing other side. All right, now we know we're gonna weld. We're gonna put these on both the ads end and the fork end, so either one we're working, we'll be able to feel that mark. Instead of having the cut in design that we've done in the past, which is easy to feel with when you don't have big heavy gloves on, especially when they're not wet, right? But now you're wet, you can't feel those things, so we're gonna fix that now. So I've already got this all set up. So before I start doing any grinding, I'm just gonna go ahead and weld these beads on right now. So I'm gonna grab my helmet. If your complaint is going to be that I took off my glasses while I was welding, it's because I can't see the weld because I'm old and blind. So send that to your safety officer, and that's the reason why. So you can now see that we now have a raised weld. Can't touch those, they're a little hot. That's why we wear gloves. So you see the raised line, right? Again, 1 3/4 crotch of the tool on the ads end, right? We're back to 1 3/4. So now we're just gonna clean all those up and we're gonna make it look nice again. So in regards to sanders, you guys have already heard my spiel about I don't use files. Well, I don't like them. They're boring and slow. I love angle grinders. So this angle grinder's got a nice thin cutoff wheel. That's what we're gonna use for some of the work here. But right now we're actually just gonna do some actual surface grinding. So we'll use a flapper pad like this, or you can use a flapper pad like this. Either one will give you a similar result. Okay, so like we talked about, we've made this a little bit more obvious here. You can see where it's got a little bit more slope now in the nose, okay? You can also see here, we've cleaned this up. right? Because this cut is so far back, this actually will slip out, we found pretty often. I might clean this off a little bit. Sometimes we do notice that these get different thicknesses across. This one's a pretty thick forgery. So we're gonna try and clean that up and narrow that just a little bit so it's a little bit easier to get into a door. And then I'm gonna clean up these welds a little bit. You can see the weld kind of came over the sides here, so we're gonna clean all that up, make it nice and flat again. And then we'll do the same over here on this side. You can see how they sometimes, as we weld into them, we get a little bump. So we're just gonna clean all that up. So if you look at this side of the tool, you'll see that the forging, it leaves kind of this rough surface, and they coat it, which is nice, but when you have the grinder out, it's a really nice opportunity. It really makes that nice and smooth now. And when we're introducing this into a door, like the smooth, clean tool, it gets around the corner easier than the tool that's got a bunch of abrasive to it. So I like to clean both sides of it, make sure it's nice and clean. So you can start to see how clean that tool's starting to get now, right? And then we've got our nice cut edge the way we want it. And we've also got our nubs that help us to find that tool even when we're wearing our heavy gloves, easy to feel. So that's covering so far our marks, right? We got those welded in. You can see the tool never turned blue, right? Like this is the question, like what happens if I overcook this tool? We never even when we welded it, there was no bluing on it, okay? So these marks, that weld, it's not hurting the tool. Now, I will tell you this. This will void any manufacturer's tools because obviously we're modifying their tool. They are not gonna validate what we're doing, which is fine, but you guys know that this is stuff that we do every day on tools on the fire department. So this is gonna be something that most of us will do to our tool because we want it to work at the event. Finally, I'm gonna go ahead and do my shouldering. It's starting to get the cut in there now, and I just need to clean it up. Now, I just used a simple cutoff wheel to start doing that. You could use a thicker cutoff wheel. There's thicker cutoff wheels that like are 1/4 inch thick here that you could use in that same space. But once we get that knocked down, all we're gonna do is we're gonna clean it up. And you see how nice and clean that ends up finishing off. Nice corner there to work off of. So we'll do the exact same thing to the other side where we'll take the cutoff wheel. You'll see me try and keep it nice and level. I'll draw that in first and then I'll cut down and then I clean it out with the abrasive wheel. So fairly simple process, doesn't take a lot of time. Steady hand is basically all it requires. But those are all the modifications that we're gonna do on a tool. We have tools in stock, fully modified, ready for you to purchase. You don't have to go through doing all this stuff, buying all the equipment, none of that. You can just come to us and for a reasonable amount, we're gonna send you this tool already modified with all the modifications you see here. We also carry a full line of other Halligan bars. If you're not using a ProBar and you're interested in a council bar, Jersey Tactical, Side Charlie, we have all of them. And we would be happy to try and work with you on any tool purchase that you might need.